Hi there, I'm Charlene. I'm the Curious Carnivore. Welcome to my channel, and thank you so much for joining me today. I am talking about my experience last night today, and it might be a little bit TMI for some of you, maybe. Um, but I do think it's important to talk about these things because sometimes these issues that come up are that our body does while maybe it's uncomfortable to talk about or uncomfortable to hear, it really is important to share your information because I just think that if we don't talk about these things, we don't recognize or realize that other people are having the same issue. We don't realize that, or we fail to learn potential outcomes and potential causes, potential remedies, things like that, things that I'm doing to help myself. Maybe that's something that you can do to help yourself. So, yeah, so let me get into it. I went to a restaurant yesterday. It was a general, like, it's a steakhouse, chain steakhouse that I have frequented in the past. Pretty popular, at least in the Midwest. And I had prepared, okay? I had planned ahead, I had called ahead, I knew kind of what to expect and what to do. So the reason I had the issue though is because I failed to advocate for myself, I guess, or I wasn't willing to um, miss out on my experience, I guess. So I looked at the allergen information online and it seemed like very cut and dry. It's a steakhouse, right? So you should be able to get something without anything else, right? A steak, some meat, right? So that was the good part, right? And then when I called, I did call ahead to see how they could accommodate me. And what I've been doing is I've been basically saying that I have an allergy. I have allergies to everything, and are you able to accommodate me with this? So the big thing is with steak and steak houses are that they put rubs on the steak, they marinate them, they cook them on surfaces or with oils and like things like that. So what I was told was that they do use canola oil in their kitchen, on their grills and things like that. They would not be able to clean the grill prior to my steak being made. So, in order to avoid any allergens, they would have to basically cook my steak in foil. And I've never had that, but she was kind of making it sound like it would not come out the same. Um, so when I go to a restaurant to buy a steak, and it's like way more, there's an upcharge, right, for preparation, the service, everything like that. So I'd be spending 25, $30 on a steak, and if it didn't like come out good, I was like, I don't know if I really want to do that, right? So I made some concessions. When I got there, I basically asked for salt as my seasoning, and um, I asked for my side was a baked potato, loaded baked potato, but with all of the loadings on the side, and because my friend was gonna have the potato, and then just a side of butter. So that's what I ate. That's what I came to my table. That's what I ate. When I did start eating the steak, though, I did notice that it was number one, drenched in oil. You can tell when it is the juice of the steak versus just like a marinade kind of thing. And I do think they put a marinade on my steak. I'm pretty sure that they did because my body did not respond well. I ate the steak while I was there and it was fine. It was actually a very good steak. They prepared it very well. It was to my temperature, medium. It was a delicious steak, honestly. And after I was finished, I kind of was like, oh, I could use the restroom. I kind of feeling a little bit of something, something. And then on the way home, less than a half hour later, I was like, I am feeling something for sure. And it wasn't urgent, but it wasn't going to be good either. So, but I definitely didn't want to wait too long, right? So I get home and I'm like, oh, I do need to use the restroom. So I'm just going to go use it. Oh my God. Here's where the TMI starts, okay? I had explosive bowel movement. It just came right through me. Oh my God. It was not even soft serve. It was volcanic lava. Man, did it stink. Whoo-wee. Ah! Okay. Sorry about that. But yeah, being honest, I just have to like canola oil. I know that it's the vegetable oil. That's all I ate. I ate. Okay, so my side was like not even a full cup. It was like more like a quarter cup of sour cream, like a little bit, maybe 5 shreds of cheese, and that was it, and butter, and another thing of butter. So honestly, and then like just all last night, like so I had this incident, right? And then all of a sudden, not all of a sudden, but like as I was getting ready for bed and like just kind of chilling, relaxing afterwards, I just, like a headache started coming on. Just that kind of a light nauseating headache kind of sensation. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna sleep this off. My stomach is doing a little bit better today, but a lot better actually. I feel much better, and my headache is not nearly as prominent. There's a slight little bit of a headache, but my ketones are not producing this morning, and my glucose was fine. But yeah, so I don't know if it was the protein that my ketones are not producing, because protein does reduce my ketone production. And I did have a large steak yesterday on the later side of the evening. So, which I is another thing that I don't normally do. So, but the lesson here is number one, I'm going to test this foil grilling option to see how it comes out. I'm going to sacrifice a 10-ounce steak or something like that to see how it comes out and if it's edible and if it's something I'm willing to do, right? And then that way I can go confidently and be like, okay, just do the foil, and just so that I'm not exposed to this canola or seed oils and things like that. And honestly, I think there was definitely a rub in there somewhere, and that could have been had sugar in it. I don't know. Like I asked for just salt as my seasoning, and that was all. That was it. So the lesson here is number one, you have to get really specific. If you're dining out, you have to get really specific with your instructions. You have to tell them, in the past, I have done this and the place was able to accommodate me. But this particular place, they did say that they could not avoid canola oil. So some places you'll be able to do that and some places you won't, I suppose. But that's my big lesson. And then I will say the only other times on the carnivore plan that I've had this happen is when I went to another restaurant, another chain like burger place. I'm not naming names, I guess, because I don't know, should I? I don't know if I should name names or not, because I don't want to bash these places, but I also want to give you good options or to know what to do at these places. So I guess I will. So where I went last night was Longhorn Steakhouse, and where I've also experienced this again was at Portillo's. So at Portillo's, I would have previously ordered like a double burger plain with no bun, add bacon, and it has been fine on several occasions. And then one occasion, it was like super greasy and it just did not sit well with my stomach. So I don't know. I think it's the exposure to an oil. I'm pretty sure that it is. My plate last night, it was drenched in like oil. And again, like when it is the juice of the meat versus something else, like a marinade. This was like clear. It wasn't like, it was like that yellowy kind of like, I don't know. And it had like little granules of like, I think garlic and stuff like that in it too. So I want to say it was not what I ordered in specifically, but I didn't advocate for myself. I did concede and say, oh, I'd rather have the steak cooked with that like sear on it. And that's what I kind of was like making the concession for, because I didn't want to buy a steak and then it be cooked in foil, which has its own other issues, right? And then it not come out, then it come out like in a like steam. I don't know. It would be steamed then, wouldn't it? You tell me, what is your experience with foil grilled steak, like whole steak? I've seen some like foil packs of like medallions of steak with potatoes and other seasonings and things like that. So I guess that would work to some degree, but I don't know. Um, Tell me what your experiences are. And honestly, this is something I've had. This is one of the reasons that I continue with the carnivore diet. When I eat at home, I don't have that issue. I don't have that issue when I eat at home. I only have this issue when I'm eating out and I don't get specific about what I don't want applied to my meal. So I am going to sacrifice a little bit of a steak to do a little bit of experiment to see if that is something I can tolerate or that is going to come out good to my liking, I guess. And I guess we'll have to just go from there and try and test out different restaurants and see what how they're willing to accommodate. I mean, Longhorn was willing to accommodate. I just didn't. I've never had steak in foil before, so um, I guess I just wasn't willing to do that, especially since I'd be paying like $25-$30 for a steak. Anywho, I hope you all have a great day. That is my lesson for today, and I'm gonna do better at just advocating for myself and not making those concessions because, I mean, it's just not worth it. I felt horrible last night. So, anyway, you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in my next video.